All right, Albert here with Mainland Cycle Center. Today we're going to take a look at the 2020 KTM 500 XCF-W. And this is a new model for KTM. And you might be thinking, whoa, hey, wait up just a minute. I've heard of the 500 XCF-W before. Well, it was gone for a few years. KTM kind of mashed together the W models and the EXC models. So previously, the last couple of years, if you wanted a 500 XCF-W, now I think we had a 6 days 450 XCF-W, but if you wanted a 500 XCF-W, couldn't buy one. You had to buy the 500 EXCF, which is very similar to this bike, but street legal. Well, KTM listened, and it's back for 2020, the 500 XCF-W, with quite a few updates. And I doubt I can remember them all, but we'll try. So, new for 2020, aluminum head stays. KTM says for better fixation on the engine. A new two-piece header. Now easier to install, they say. And then the radiators were lowered about 12 millimeters. Updated suspension front and rear. The chassis was updated as well, making it a little stiffer for better handling. These are of course, 500 cc, and it's like, I don't know, it's not exactly 500 cc's, but you know what I mean. It's a 6-speed transmission. The W in the name means wide ratio transmission, which just means that should be less shifting. So you're basically spreading out the transmission across the miles per hour. So this bike should be able to travel at a higher speed at a lower RPM than, say, a non-wide ratio transmission. So the idea is that there's less shifting. So you don't have to shift as soon from first to second, from second to third, and so on. Okay. These, of course, are liquid cooled. One of the cool things about these is they've got these heavy-duty plastic radiator guards, and these are really, really heavy-duty. And so the idea is that they actually provide some strength to the radiators. You know, in the past, if you were worried about falling over and denting a radiator, which happened pretty often on motocross bikes and off-road bikes, you would install like a steel radiator guard. But you've got these really heavy-duty radiator louvers. Well, before, on a lot of bikes, these were just very flimsy and really designed just to keep mud from packing into the radiators, but actually added some structural strength to those. Updated suspension. So let's talk about the rear suspension on this. This is what KTM calls their PDS. PDS stands for Progressive Dampening System, and this is a linkageless rear suspension. So most motocross bikes, KTM's SX bikes and XC bikes, the rear shock passes through the swing arm, and there's a linkage down here, and that linkage is designed to give the suspension a progressive action. So it starts out softer, and the pressure builds as the more the shock gets compressed. Okay, so it kind of acts like almost a cam system. So this is a PDS system. So it's linkageless, but it's still designed to be progressive. Let's see what else. I think we mentioned Brembo brakes. This has the black aluminum rims, look really sharp. Those rims are made by Giant. Nice KTM logo on the exhaust. A new seat for 2020, supposed to be a little more comfortable. Hand guards are standard on these. The no dirt foot pegs. So if you look at these foot pegs, they're quite open and airy, so that they don't get clogged up with dirt where they get stuck in that position, as well as the shift lever is what's called a no dirt shift lever. A new fuel tank for 2020. It looks to be a little slimmer, as well as the bodywork looks to be a little slimmer as well. KTM didn't tell me exactly what they did there. They just said better ergonomics. I suppose if we parked this next to an older model, we could maybe see those differences. Brembo master cylinders, so a hydraulic clutch on this. Nice, easy, light clutch pull. This also has a couple of different power modes, as well as traction control and launch mode on this one. These are electric start. There's no Kickstarter. Got a little digital display up here, and that just gives you some real basic information: speedometer, hour meter, trip meter, that kind of thing. This little button here is your headlight switch. This to be about it there. Separate function fork. Again, I told you the suspension was revised for 2020. Compression dampening, I believe, on this side. Yep, rebound dampening on this side. So some new settings on those forks. Aluminum swing arm. One of the cool things about KTMs is the inside of the hubs are machined, so you can see how shiny and slick the inside of that hub is, as opposed to leaving it this cast finish like you see inside the hub here. KTM machines those. Nice finish on that. You know, again, the KTMs, if you're unfamiliar with the KTMs, these are very high quality bikes made in Austria, not Australia, but Austria in Europe, and very high quality bikes known around the globe for being very high quality race bikes. A KTM does not make a recreational bike, so even though this bike is a woods racing bike and it's a wide ratio transmission, it's definitely designed to be easier to ride than some of the SX bikes. This is still a full-on race bike. So 500, of course, denotes the CC. The XC means cross-country or cross-country race bike. The F means four-stroke, and the W means wide ratio transmission. All right, I am sure I am missing some stuff. New piston, higher compression ratio. The cylinder head's a little different from the previous model. These do have a radiator fan on them as well. And but definitely lots of cool stuff. 500 XCF-W, definitely a popular model, especially if you're doing some really long distance off-road traveling or racing. That 500 definitely will lower some engine RPM, and it'd be a pleasant drive. And really, this bike is very close. I think there's only a couple of pounds difference between a 500 XCF-W and a 300 XCF-W as far as weight. But all right, well, that's a look at the new for 2020 KTM 500 XCF-W. Once again, we are Mainland Cycle Center. We're located in Marque, Texas. We're about 30 minutes south of downtown Houston, just off of I-45. You can find us online at mainlandcyclecenter.com or by phone at 409-948-4969, and we would just love it if you'd give us a call, shoot us an email, or even better, come on down to Mainland Cycle Center, where we'd love to help any way that we can. Hey, thanks for watching.